Today's video is going to be a $100 fishing lure fishing challenge.
And the hustle been legitimate. It's so many blessings, I might be allergic. How I move, they treating the sound like I'm stirring. I'm working the pots in this firm. Serve like Serena, do it the cleanest. You not on my way,
Yes,
you can't handle it.
On the big swim bait. Yes. All right, boys, check this out. Welcome back to another Larry Melton Jr. video. What we're doing today, we're going to throw this big swim bait. The more and more I look at this thing, the smaller and smaller it starts to look. We did this in a previous video. We came out, we threw a big swim bait. We caught 5, 6, 7 fish on it. I really don't remember, but we just know we caught a lot of fish on it. So we're out here today, but we're not going to throw this white one the whole time. The day we were out here, the water is pretty dirty. There are some really big gizzard shad in this pond that look exactly like the bait we're throwing today, but we have another bait. We paid $100 for it at the Classic in 2021. $100 for a fishing lure. I know, crazy. It's very hard, but it was a very beautiful lure. We have it. Normally when we come out here, we bring our black pack, but we only have one box of big swim baits down there. And we have one $100 fishing lure that we really want to throw. We want to build our confidence up with this white one a little bit before we pull that one out. I really don't want to pull that one out if I'm being 100% honest with you, but I think it has to happen. We have to catch a fish on the $100 fishing lure. So today's video is going to be a $100 fishing lure fishing challenge. You spend $100 on a fishing lure, it's either a paperweight, something that I'm going to put in a shadow box in an office, or I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna catch 100 on it. So today we're gonna go out and we're going to try to catch 100 on the big swim bait. We're gonna start off with this white one. We also have another one that's a deeper diving bait. I will show you all that after we try to catch a fish on this one. We want to catch a fish on this one just to kind of get our confidence up, start us off on the right foot before we tie on the really expensive one. Because whenever we tie that one on, we're expecting to catch 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 bass. Like $100 on a fishing lure, if we don't catch anything on it today, I'm gonna be kind of hurt. I think this one did so good in the last video just because there's fish in this pond that look exactly like the lure. So, and every time I see them, they're always in the very back corner. So maybe seeing what you think is a really big gizzard shad in a different part of the pond, it probably kind of throws the fish off. They're like, hey, that's not supposed to be here. We're gonna eat that. So that's our plan for today. We're going to be throwing big swim baits, only big swim baits. Last video, we kind of started off slow. We started off with the worm, got a bite on it, didn't land it. Then we threw a frog a little bit, but today we're only throwing this big swim bait. This is literally all we have. Like there's nothing else on the boat with us today. We only have this one rod and big swim bait. So we have to figure it out today. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Today is solely the $100 big swim bait challenge, but we're starting off with this one. We want to get a fish in the boat. We want to build our confidence up a little bit. We want to ramp up to throwing that big, expensive swim bait. So stay tuned. Hopefully we can hook up on it. Last time we were out here, it did not take long. We caught our first fish probably 3-4 minutes into the video, which that's already hard to do as it is. And then on a big swim bait, I mean, I was pretty proud of that day. That was probably one of the coolest days of fishing I've had. So catch a couple. Also, we have our sunglasses on today. So if we have any followers, we'll be able to see them. It was a cast just like this where we caught our first one the other day, so wish us luck. Kind of nervous. They were killing this thing the other day. I think the bluegill might kind of work a little bit better today because the water isn't as dirty today as it was the other day. That's the only reason why I didn't pull it out. First, they were eating this one so good, I was like, why change? But I didn't pull it out the other day because the water was so dirty. But now the water's not as dirty anymore. It's still a little dirty. We had a brief, maybe 3 minutes of rain this morning, but that's not enough to really dirty up the water at this pond. So stay tuned. Kind of nervous, kind of not. Oh, got one. I saw him eat it. Got our first one. I saw him come up behind it and eat it. I don't think he's big, but he feels pretty good. See, that's the purpose. Oh, he came. No, he didn't. That's the purpose of wearing these sunglasses, guys, because you can see the lure. It doesn't dive super deep. You can get it as, oh, is it a big one? No, he's not. But you can get it as deep as you ever could want it to go. You know, you're going to have to let it sit and reel it super slow. But if you want it to get down to 10, 11 foot, you could reel it slow at the bottom. Oh, that is a good first fish to catch. It's a really good one. All right, we're gonna kind of play with him a little bit before we land him. So guys, we went out this morning with the intent of like filming a little crankbait video for y'all, but the bite was super slow. Dude, that's a good one. That's a good 4-pounder right there. That one did not look that big under the water. That's a good 3-4 pounder. That's the way you want to start the video. Oh, now I'm nervous. I just don't want to tie it on because I feel like I'm gonna lose it, but I feel like saying I'm gonna lose it is just jinxing myself. Why is it so hard to be a fisherman sometimes? Why do we buy these expensive baits? And like, normally, after buying a $20 swim bait, or after buying a $20 chatterbait, or a $20 jackhammer, slobber knocker, whatever, that's expensive until you buy one that costs $100. Then you find one that costs $100, you're like, oh, I don't know. Oh yeah, baby. Look at that one. What a beautiful first fish. That's a high 3s, maybe 4, maybe. He's big, he's thick, but he's not super heavy. Like, he needs to eat. If that swim bait would have been a real fish, that would have put him over the 4-pound mark. Guys, can somebody please explain to me while I have y'all here? How long are we? We're 7 minutes into today and we already have our first fish. Can somebody explain to me why these tails are still, this one isn't as bloody, but he has a little bit of a red hue to it. You might be able to see it on that front camera a little bit better. A little bit more light on them, but I mean, it's August, what's today? August 5th, August 4th, something like that. And like, the tail is still bloody on these fish. And I know they have to heal. I know there's a whole healing process, but I mean, like, what is this from? Why are their tails bloody like this? Thanks for playing, dude. Whew. All right, that's the first one. I really don't want to let you go because I don't want to tie on that other one, but we have to. We have to. Why buy it? We can buy another one. We can afford to buy another one if we lose it. We're gonna have to DM Mr. Mike and be like, hey man, I don't want to wait till the classic. Can I get another one of those swim baits? I'll order it off the website because their stock is kind of limited sometimes. Maybe we'll send them a message and ask them to like put our name on it or something like that, or fish them hard on the swim bait. That'd be sick. Like a black and blue swim bait and have fish them hard on it. Oh, I don't want to do this. These things are so sweet. Check that out. That was so quick too. I feel like it's my responsibility as the owner of the big swim bait to throw it. So we have all types of stuff in here. Oh, we have a little lipless and a frog in here too. We got the couple of mag drafts. This is the one that is the faster sinking swim bait. So that'd be more for the side that's back behind us. It's a little bit deeper over there. There's a lot of grass in this pond, so this thing would probably get hung up the farther back we go. But this thing looks a lot more realistic to the gizzard shad that are in here versus this one. This one's just a little bit fatter. This one's more slim and gonna sink a little bit faster. So I think we could definitely do really good on this one. We could probably find some new fish on this one, but that's not what we're doing today. That one will have a day. We're throwing this one right here. This is a bluegill. Look at that. Like, the white's cool and all, it's kind of plain, but like, this thing looks like a bluegill if I've ever seen a bluegill. Gosh, I'm being so dramatic. Just tie the thing on. If you lose it, you lose it. If I lose it, I'm going to swim in it. I promise you that. And we're gonna cut a good little bit off of this line just because we've caught 7, 8, 9 fish on that thing and they've all been fairly big. So we just want to make sure that we're doing everything that we can do to make sure that we don't lose this one. All I have to do is catch one on it. If I catch one on it, I'm probably going to want to keep fishing it, but I need to just take it off. And after I catch a fish on it, I'll just put it up in the closet until like I go on a trip and they're like, hey, you need a bluegill 6-inch swim bait. I think I've thrown this thing a little bit, but I just haven't caught anything on it. All right, it's official now. Got our tag in cut off. Here we go. 6-inch big swim bait. Oh, it just swam so good too. Imagine first cast, I just zing this thing right off. Ooh, looks like it's gonna stay on for us. Here we go. As much as I don't want to do this, this is actual like real stress. And the other thing too, you can't see this one as good under the water. I feel like that white one's probably more money in this pond just because you can see it a little bit better. This one doesn't dive as good as that other one does. It doesn't get as deep. So I wasn't reeling it super fast, but I can still see it. It's kind of waking on the top. Which that's gonna be good for us whenever we get back over here because there's a lot of grass that's only 6, 7 inches off the surface of the water. So having one that doesn't dive super deep will be beneficial for us. All right, this thing's almost like a wake bait. We're gonna have to slow it down a lot. Oh, the action on this one's actually a little bit better, it looks like. Oh, it looks like the colors are popping a little bit more on it, probably because the water's warm. I've never noticed that before. So they actually make one like this at $60, but this one has a little bit of better color on it. So I wonder if the colors change on it depending on the water. That's pretty cool, because it did not look like that when we first pulled it out.
Later that same evening.
All right, guys, we got stuck back there for a little minute, but glad to say that we're out now. And I say this grass is super tall to where you only have like 3 or 4 inches. Like this boat's probably good up to 5, 6 inches maybe, and that's where we were at. Then at that point, the grass or whatever you're stuck in just kind of gets stuck in the, it just gets stuck in the motor. So we had to use our rod to push us out. I was gonna get out, but then we started moving with the rod. So I was like, I'll stay dry, I'll sacrifice the rod. I can clean my reel when I get home. So guys, I don't know how this is gonna work today. I don't know if this is gonna work for us at all. So I think I actually saw some of the shad back there in the corner, like some of the really big gizzard shad, and they look exactly like that fast sinking swim bait. So I feel like if we tie that on, we could catch one first cast, but this one might have to be a little bit of a, challenge to catch one on, just because the color. But they'll eat the shad. There's at least one in here that'll eat this one. So I think our struggle today is just gonna be finding that one fish that wants this one. And then this one really just doesn't get down deep enough though. I think to just kind of distract ourselves for a little bit, we might tie on that other one just to try it. We're gonna get a few more cast in with this one. I saw a whole bunch of bass back there, so we'll have to find a different angle to go back there next time. Saw a whole bunch of 1-pounders, so I'm sure there's a whole bunch of 2, 3-pounders probably hiding out in the grass, just waiting on something to come by so they can eat it. Got them a little ambush point set up, so. Just had a super small bass followed in. It's funny to me just seeing the like super small bass always following the swim baits in. Like the bluegill always gets a whole bunch of super small followers. It's like the big ones are like, we kind of know what that is, but the small bass are always really interested to come up and look at it. Oh, dude, one just waked on it. I saw him come up in here. Oh, that's a big one too. I think I can't really see him. Oh, yes, let's go. One of the big swim bait. Yes. Yes, our investment paid off, baby. Let's go. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, I saw him come up and eat it. Dude, they're so strong in here. They fight so good. We're gonna let him kind of tire out, just because we don't want to, one, lose our swim bait, and then they always go crazy when they get in the boat in here. So we're gonna kind of let him do his thing, make him feel like he's pulling us around a little bit, because we've seen him. I like to land him and hold him and thank him, but if he comes off, I know this is a very bad attitude to have, he comes off, as long as he just doesn't take the swim bait with us. He doesn't have the line, he just has the bait, so I think we should be good. But we're gonna tire him out a little bit, let him kind of do his thing. Oh, yes, let's go, baby. Dude, that's a big one too. Boom. Big swim bait. Let's go. Dude, he hit that with like the intent to kill it, 100%. That's all that was. He wanted to kill it, then come back for it. He's gonna kill it, rise to the top, then he's gonna do like a super cool top water blow up on it. He told me all about it. Whew. Thank you, big swim bait. Thank you, fish. Woo. How about it, guys? How about it? What is that? Do we have the scale? Oh yeah, we have the scale. We gotta weigh him. We gotta weigh him. We should have weighed that first one too. This one's probably gonna be, I don't know. He might be a 4. Big might. He's probably like 3.9 or so. 3. Did I just call that? I just called it. I just called our big swim bait fish weight. Ooh, this is the most fulfilling day. That is so fulfilling. $100 paid off. We caught a 3.9, baby. Let's go. Let's go. Middle of the day too. It's like 12 o'clock probably. Yes, let's go. There it goes. Do we risk it and try to catch another one? Let's check out our swim bait after that. Got a little bit of paint chip on it, but I mean, that was a 3-pounder. He hammered it pretty good. It's just right here. That's like a joint thing too. Like, that's one of those areas that you really can't be mad at. Whew. Dude, he nailed that. He's like, hey, stop. I saw him come up and eat it too. He got a little wake on him. What do we do now? What do we, like, this is all we, like, guys, you don't understand. This video has been in my ideas for about a year and a half now. Like, I have a little notebook that I write all my video ideas down in, and like, I've been trying to find a place to do this video somewhere I know I'm gonna catch one, so I don't get my hopes up and like not hook up. But I'm not gonna say so much as went into this video, but there's been a lot of days of like fishing that white swim bait at ponds and like just hoping to hook up, hoping to hook up. I think that white one still is gonna be the money swim bait for us, just because there's a lot more gizzard shad and whatnot in these ponds versus really big bluegill like this, which this bluegill swim bait definitely has a place in the trophy pond that we fish. It'll probably be pretty good, but just waiting on the day where it feels right. But guys, we spent a lot of days, a lot of potential spots. I mean, neighborhood ponds, like, God, that's just, it's so fulfilling. So we have a video coming out of Vlogmas. We've been going to like some neighborhood ponds and just trying to fish around me because I'm in a new area. So like, I'm just going to these random neighborhoods that have these ponds and looking for big bass. It's just kind of the roots of fishing, just Google Maps, not necessarily Google Maps videos, but like basically Google Maps videos, fishing places that I've never been to before and just trying to figure it out. Whew. Got some character on our swim bait now. All right, let's go. Right there. Don't go too far. That's perfect. Whew. Can we do a swim bait slam? Should we try to do a swim bait slam, switch over? This video is about the $100 swim bait, 100%, but what do y'all think? Do you think we can do a swim bait slam and catch one on the other one too? That's just me trying to make an excuse to take this one. Oh, we have one behind it. We have one behind it. He just darted underneath it, so he's probably gone, but we have one right behind it. And I paused it, and he just swam right underneath it. Might be one we hooked the other day. He's like, hey, I saw those treble hooks the other day. Those don't feel good. I think over here too is a lot deeper, so we might just tie on that other one. We'll get a couple more casts with this one. We did it, mission complete. Honestly, I can't be any happier right now. We caught a 3.9 on the $100 swim bait. You can't fake this smile, guys. You can't fake it. Two, I like being able to see the swim bait, because if you have a follower, you can kind of pause it, which I can barely see this one, but we have a little bit of overcast. If it was just bluebird sky, it'd probably be a little bit better. And also, I've never swim bait fished this area of the pond, which is pretty deep, and I've caught some big ones over here on Texas rigs and whatnot, so. Whew, look at that, look at that, look at that. Look at that one, wow. Now I can put you up in the shadow box until next year. I might do one of these videos a year, just taking this one out, just to knock the dust off of it and try it. I think this one's just so special because it was the first one. This is the one that kind of like started the passion or want to throw big swim baits. Thank you, sir. All right, Mr. Big old bull shad, come here. You're up. Trying to complete a lure challenge slam. You do the big swim bait slam.
10 seconds later.
All right, so we ran into a little bit of a problem. I think this thing is designed for like lakes, like lake depths, like 30, 40 foot. Or maybe not that deep, but 10, 11 foot, not like max 6 feet. That thing is just scrubbing the bottom. So I don't think that's gonna be the most efficient way to catch them. So we're gonna tie on the white one again because that is just straight up fun. We also have this mag draft right here, but we can catch them on a mag draft anytime. Oh no, I was about to catch one right here. I had my foot on the trolling motor like a dummy. I wasn't even thinking about it. I was just trying to get to the next spot. There was one swimming right at it. About to nail it too. And they just swam back in the mat. Dang. There were two over there. There was one swimming literally right at the swim bait. Like, oh no, this ain't gonna work, bro. And when I say those two bass swam straight in the mat, like didn't even look. I got probably 3 or 4 feet away from them. They were just like, gone.
Bag, I'm racing the clock. Look at them block, watching them flop. Used to see this in my sleep when I ain't had shit but my thoughts in the car. I really was lost. Now I'm public with the soundscapes.